What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? It's me, El Teddy 27. This is Angry Teacher Chronicles, my review for Pose, Season 2, Episode 10. 10. This is the season finale, y'all. I'm writing down. I actually wrote Episode 9. I know it's Episode 10. Season finale. Ooh. What's up, y'all? So, let's get started because I'm going to try to keep this in a decent time frame. Okay? Y'all know it's going to be hard. Blanca is at home doing nails from home because she ain't got no more shop. So, and I noticed after she did the lady nails, she was coughing or whatnot. And my immediate thought was, oh, and maybe it's the chemicals or something in the house that's making her cough. But I noticed the lady didn't cough. And so I was like, well, maybe she has a cold or something. Not putting together everything with the AIDS and everything. The HIV. So then Pray Tell comes over. And it's been 8 or 9 months, y'all. Since the graduation. Since the whole, fighting and feuding between Pray Tell and Blanca, and it's time to bury the hatchet. And so that happens. Now, I still feel like they made this finale to try to wrap everything up in a bow. Because, and I think if I remember reading correctly, they taped the finale after they knew the show would be picked up for season 3, but I could be wrong. But I still feel like they tried to give you a lot of finality, give you a lot of closure on a lot of stories, and let you know really what's been going on. So what we have next is we got Pray Tell and Blanca just catching up over the last 8 or 9 months. Damon is still on tour in Europe. He's doing well. Pray Tell is still seeing Ricky. He claims they're taking it slow, but Ricky got whole ass keys to his house. That is your babe. That is your boo. Let it go. Blanca hasn't been going to the balls, and Blanca's been concentrating mainly on the shop and doing nails from her house. Okay? So then Blanca starts coughing again. Pray Tell notices and knows that there's something wrong. And the next thing we see, Blanca's at the hospital, okay? Blanca is, doing bad. Looking like she's about to check out, okay? So she starts to tell Pray Tell all about, oh, when I die, this is what I want. Here's my will, this, that, and the third. Girl, they was trying to take me out in the first 5 minutes. I was like, wait a minute. This motherfucking episode is an hour and a half long. There is no way I'm letting you whores take me out in the first 5 minutes. Nope, 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 nope. I resisted the urge for them to take me out. I ain't say I was successful the whole episode, but I kept it in, sucked it on in for that first part. Because baby Blanca was looking like she was about to check out, honey. And she was really preparing for death. Like I said, she gave Pray Tell her will, said who all she was giving stuff to, and she was ready to meet her maker. She tells Pray Tell, listen, whatever you do, don't let them forget me. And I felt like what happened was Blanca started to succumb to the disease once she didn't have anybody to care after anymore. Once she had empty nest syndrome. It reminds me of, and I almost went out when I started to think about it, it reminds me of my grandmother. My grandmother had 16 children. My grandmother worked her whole life. After she stopped working for people, she was raising grandkids. After she stopped raising her kids, she always had somebody to raise. And I remember at the time when my grandmother stopped having somebody in the house to care for and raise and do for, and everybody kind of was grown and everybody was, taking care of themselves, and we really didn't need her to look after us or anyone else. That's when the Alzheimer's set in for her. And that's when Alzheimer's really started to set for her, and she really started to succumb to the disease. And I feel the same way about Electra. She's allowing herself to give up because she misses being there and being a mother. Electra comes to the hospital with Lulu and Angel. So you got all the girls there. And they're trying to cheer up her spirits and so forth. Electra is being Electra, honey. Extravagant as always, as only Electra can be. And just like last year's season finale, I liked Electra, but I didn't like Electra because last year's season finale, they had Electra all nice and they had Electra all, just too nice when it wasn't authentically Electra, because Electra cuts. You know what I'm saying? She's not nurturing. And that's how she was last season finale, and I feel like that's how she was again this season finale. And so I like Electra being just Electra, where baby she will read you down. She ain't trying to be nice to you. She's trying to just go in any moment she gets. So then Electra talks to Pray Tell. Pray Tell talks about how nobody's going to balls. None of them have been going to the balls. And the girls are like, listen, we ain't going because the balls now is nothing but Butch Queen categories and stuff like that. And we don't like that. The judges, none of them are trans women. None of them are any of the girls. And they don't know what it's like to walk in our shoes. And so we don't feel like it's fair because we really don't have, there's really no opportunity for the girls in the ballroom scene anymore. Certainly not in the position of MC or a judge. They're not even represented on the council. And these are things that Electra is saying to Pray Tell. And then we see the council meeting. So Pray Tell tells the council what Electra said and the fact that there's no real opportunity for the girls and the trans women and the drag queens down at the ball. So they say, all right, how about this? How about we do a category where butch boys walk drag for the first time. And so they kick it around or whatever. And so everybody agrees on it. And the MCs decide that they're going to walk in drag for the first time as well. Just to, give the girls an opportunity to, one, be judges, and two, for them to, for everybody to see people walk, not just the judges, not just the MCs, but boys who normally walk, butch queen and things actually being dragged. So that idea goes by and everybody agrees. Angel then goes to see Miss Ford. So Miss Ford is, listen, Miss Ford say, yeah, I've been avoiding you. I had to wait until I got all the information, but here it is, honey. And Miss Ford is always very straightforward and forthcoming with Angel. She says, listen, they know about you, honey. The word has spread. They've started to pull your contracts, honey. Come to find out, one of the dudes that come to the ballroom recognize Angel and remember when she walked categories and child being a messy queens, started spreading her business and spilling her tea all over the fashion industry. And so that's how it started to make Miss Ford lose clientele, and that's how Angel got all her contracts pulled. And Miss Ford basically wants to support her. It's not like she has a problem with Angel, but there's not a whole lot she can do at this point because she got to make money too. She realizes it's 1990 or 1991, and at that time there wasn't opportunities like that for trans women. Let's just be honest. So then we see Angel and Poppy at the house. Angel first is at the house by herself. She just starts drinking. Speaking of drinking, hold on. Oh, y'all. If you see my eyes, y'all, I apologize. They look a little closed because I got like a migraine that is traveling from the front of my head to the back of my head. And I'm got all these lights on, and the lights are like really, really aggravating my soul right now. But I'm going to give y'all this video. I'm going to play through the pain. And I'm going to give y'all this video. But I got this searing headache that is just traveling all the way from the front to the back. I took some aspirin. Hopefully it starts to kick in before this video is out. And hopefully the alcohol will mix beautifully with said aspirin. Okay? So, Poppy comes home and Angel tells Poppy what happened. Poppy, of course, tries to be supportive, but Angel is a whole mess. She ain't really trying to hear all that. We know it. And then we're back at the hospital. Blanca asks Nurse Judy, says, listen, honey, listen. Be honest with me. I need to know how much time I have, okay? Don't try to sugarcoat it for me. Let me know. You see, she's really relegating herself to really just giving up. She wants to give up. And Nurse Judy tries to, tell her, listen, you can't give up. You can't. But Blanca is all in her head about all of this. So then we got Poppy and Angel back at home. Poppy done concocted this idea. We also learned his name is Esteban Gonzalez. We learned his first name last, I think, 2 episodes ago. But now we know his last name is Martinez. Excuse me, Esteban Martinez. So he concocts this idea of becoming this talent agent. And he's going to get the trans girls to join his talent agency. And he's going to get bookings and get them in the fashion world and modeling and singing and acting, all of that stuff. Ciao. Poppy goes out there and try to get the girl, and girl, they pay him dust. They want no parts of Poppy. He even went to try to get Elektra. You know Elektra wanted no parts of what he was selling, okay? They pay him no mind. Next week, and I noticed that things were going really fast. And like I say, I felt like they kept whatever their original story was going to be for the season finale, because they tried to wrap everything up as if there was not going to be a third season. So you get all of these stories that are being wrapped up really, really quickly, and they don't have really a chance to grow and breathe. So if I'm being brutally honest, I wasn't as impressed, I should say, about this season finale as I was about previous episodes, because it felt rushed. It really did for me. So we see Frederick. Pray Tell goes over Blanca's house and reads her the newspaper article that talks about Frederica getting arrested for the arson of Blanca's salon. And Frederica's in jail, and she starts screaming at her attorney. And then she says something to the effect of, the only thing I regret is stopping another woman's dream. But I would never regret what I did to achieve mine. And it kind of alluded to her saying that she regrets what she did to Blanca. Nobody cares about your tears, Frederica. Nobody cares. Cry blood, whore. Cry blood. Next, we see Elektra. She's teaching the MCs and the other boys that are going to walk this first time in drag category. She's teaching them how to walk in heels. Baby, Ricky is sickening, honey. Just sickening, honey. I live for Ricky. I live for me some Ricky, honey. He was walking in them pink heels, honey. Walking down. Everybody's struggling, except for the two guys from Elektra's house. They are really women. They might as well be walking in drag all the time, honey. Anyway, Pray Tell can't walk in the heels. He gets upset. He storms out, being Pray Tell. Ricky then follows Pray Tell outside. Ricky came out there and laid down some truth on Pray Tell. Okay, listen. You always try to whisper words of wisdom to me. Now it's your turn. And he tells Pray Tell, listen, you can't be in your head. I remember the first time I had to walk Femme Queen realness, and I was kind of scared, but sometimes I want a queen out too. And he was like, I know it's in there. Pray Tell proceeds to tell him the story about his dad, and how his dad, when he was growing up, really didn't like that he was gay, would abuse him at times and different things like that. So that's always stuck in his head. And so Ricky says to him, listen, you got to let that go. You gotta let that go. And Ricky is there. And you know what? I've seen a lot of reviews where people are not here for the Pray Tell Ricky relationship. But contrary to popular belief, we see the November, what is it? The May November relationships or whatever they call it, old person, young person relationship, work a lot of times. I don't see why it can't work this time. I really like the dynamic between Ricky and Pray Tell as of now, the way we're seeing it right now. Okay, I actually like them together. Next, we see Poppy and Angel. They go to Miss Ford office. Poppy is trying to sweet talk Miss Ford into um, letting him work for her, and she eventually agrees. You know, Poppy got the gift of gab. Poppy can talk you out your drawers, honey. Poppy is here for it. I mean, he had on that little form-fitting shirt looking like a whole ass snack, honey. You can't say no to Poppy, honey. You can't tell him no. So she agrees to let him work for her. Um, and he wants to use that as a mechanism in order to help him get um, more clientele for his talent agency. She tells him, if you can get one gig or one client, I will actually work with you for real, for real. So next we see Blanca. She's about to leave the hospital. She's getting ready to leave the hospital. They're walking her around, giving her instructions about when she leaves. Nurse Judy is. Next thing you know, who runs in the hospital? Damon. Baby, this whole scene took me out. Baby, let me tell you something. I had done kept it there all them other times. Baby, they took me all the way out right here. Damon came up in there, and baby, Damon was so concerned by his mama, honey. It took me all the way out. All the way out. All the way out. Damon, you know who Damon reminds me of? Shouts out to my own gay child, Ricky. Damon reminds me of Ricky. Because Damon loved his mama. And Damon is real protective. And I could see Ricky is like that for me. Um, out of my children, Ricky reminds me the most of Damon. Like he's real protective, want to be up under their mama and stuff like that, and that's how me and Ricky are. But it took me out, made me think about Ricky. I'm gonna call him after I make this video. We find out he's negative. He's gonna choreograph the next video for the guy Malcolm McClary, whatever the guy name. He's gonna choreograph his next music video. He now has children of his own in Europe. So I'm guessing he's permanently relocating over to Europe. He now has his own house and he's has his own children and he's teaching them everything he learned from Blanca. And he tells Blanca, listen, you need children. You are a mother still. And he said, listen, your work isn't done yet. And so he's telling Blanca, listen, sweetheart, just like there's so many other Damons out there that need your wisdom. And this took me out. I was over here boohoo crying, honey. Boohoo crying, honey. And the next scene, the longest scene, which makes sense, is of course at the ball. Once again, is the Mother of the Year ball. And so they start off with one of the icons, legends of the Black LGBTQIA community. Who do we hear playing in the background? Sylvester. You make me feel mighty real. You make me feel mighty real. You gave me life abundantly, honey. You got that. You got to end with Sylvester. Sylvester is a legendary icon, iconic, legendary, whatever adjectives, superlatives that you want to give Sylvester. He is that. He's a pioneer in our community as Black LGBTQIA pioneer. So glad that they have Sylvester playing first. Elektra wins her category that she was walking in with some of the other mothers, and then they had the Vogue category. I mean, they had several categories. They started off, I think, with Runway. Then they had this category. I forgot what the category was, but it was Elektra, Lulu, and the mother from that other house I can't think of the name of. and Electra won. Anyway, um, then they had the Vogue category. Let me tell you something. These people were voguing down. And what you saw, and I'm not going to say fully, but this Vogue category is where you really started to see what real Vogue is. Okay? And they didn't even go in like you really can see at a real ball, but these girls were voguing down. Down. It was everything. Okay? So then next we see Mother of the Year is up. Electra wins Mother of the Year. Electra wins unanimously. And that's all Electra really wanted. So Electra's all happy and everything. And, you know, this is where it just, to me, it wasn't the Electra we have come to grow and love. It was this all nice, sappy Electra. And that's not Electra. Then we see Poppy and Angel upstairs. Poppy tells Angel, "Listen, I got you a modeling gig over in Berlin, Germany." Angel's in her feelings. She don't want to go because she's scared of getting clocked again and having her business in the streets again. Poppy says, "Listen, they know. I already told them and they like it and they're here for it, and we fly out tomorrow morning." She's all excited, this, that, and the third. She proposes to him. He proposes to her. And listen, because Poppy was talking, listen. When Poppy said, what did he say? Oh, he talked about how she doesn't walk, she floats, and she's his angel. And when he said, "I stay close to the ground, I always stay close, I'm always staying close to the ground so that I can catch you when life does things to you and make you fall," baby, Poppy took me out again. I said, Poppy always be taking me out, honey. Poppy be taking me out, honey. Poppy took me out again. I said, all the way out, honey. I said, child. And then they proposed to each other. It was cute. I mean, as much as you can propose to each other in 1991. Child. Then we see Ricky and Damon. They meet backstage. They get caught up. Ricky's going to go on tour with Paula Abdul. I mean, I guess it'll be short-lived because if I remember correctly, Paula Abdul, after the 80s, her career was not long-lived after the 80s. It was very short-lived. We'll see how that goes. Damon tells him he's negative and he catches him up on how he's doing. And they had a really good moment there. I liked that moment. But at the end of it, you could tell Ricky was still missing Damon. A little. I'm not saying it was enough to try and get back with Damon or to leave pray tell. But you can see in that look he gave Damon, there is still some feelings there. Blanca comes, finally, and does the Star Spangled Banner by Whitney Houston. Because they're about to do Candy's refrain category, the lip sync category. Blanca goes first. She skips the line. She does the Star Spangled Banner that Whitney Houston did at the Super Bowl. Little bit of history about this Star Spangled Banner. Little known fact, and most musicians know it. The thing that made Whitney Houston's Star Spangled Banner so great and so heralded is something that most people did not notice unless you're a true musician. What you know about the Star Spangled Banner, if you're a musician, is the Star Spangled Banner is written as a waltz. It's in 3/4 time. Okay, it's oh say, oh say, can you see by the dark early light? A surprise. It's in 3/4. It's a waltz. But the Whitney Houston, the composer or the arranger, I should say, of her rendition, purposely wanted her to be able to draw out and elongate the notes so you can hear the purity and clarity of her voice. So he changed it in his arrangement to 4/4 time to give more time in order to lengthen the notes. And so that's a little known fact. I just had a, quick lesson in music theory, I guess, for some people that a lot of people did not know. Anyway, moving on. That was the little nerd band geek in me. And so it was great. Blanca, great Blanca. We needed that. I can't help but shake the feeling that, they had just talked about the fact that she couldn't even stand up without being short of breath. I thought that maybe she was going to do this good Whitney Houston Star Spangled Banner and just pass the fuck out on the ground. They have to cart her off to the hospital or something. I don't know. I was waiting for something bad to happen. I'm just telling you how I felt. Then we see, get ready for this final category, which is going to be the category where the boys, walking drag first time or whatever. And Elektra is the MC, and Elektra kills it as an MC, okay? And she calls the girls up there as judges. And this is where you saw this sappy, because she announces, I think, Blanca last. And it's all sappy. And I'm not saying that Elektra can't feel that way, but this ain't Elektra. Elektra ain't nice like this. Elektra ain't all happy and sappy and, oh, we feel good about this. No, that's not Elektra. So that's the part that I didn't like. They walk, child, they're all bricks, honey. Child, just bricks, honey. One of the kids from Elektra's house, she was like one of the girls who I told you was already a woman anyway. Child. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Ricky is still cute. Even in drag, he's just so cute. Shouts out to Dylan Burnside, the guy who plays Ricky. He's so cute. And then after the ball, we see Angel and Poppy. They're talking to their mother, Blanca. They're going to go get pancakes. She's like, no, I'm tired. And I just wrote down Rudy Tooty Fresh and Fruity, because if you grew up back in the day, you know that IHOP Rudy Tooty Fresh and Fruity. Was it IHOP or was it Denny's? One of the two. They had the little commercial with the Rudy Tooty Fresh and Fruity. They talked about that. It made me smile because it made me wax nostalgic about those commercials. And finally, we get this scene where there's these two little kids, 14 years old, and they're hanging out outside the ball. And why are you out that time of night? And Blanca knew something, and so she calls them over and she talks to them. Long story short, these are going to be her new kids. They're living on the streets. They're living in the piers or on the piers or whatever. And there's nothing good happening on the piers, And so Blanca takes them in. And those are going to be her new kids. And it ends right there. And you know how they always put a quote? The quote that they had was from actually the very first episode of Pose. And it says, Pray Tell 1987. And I only know that because earlier today, the bae, my boo, he doesn't watch Pose, never seen Pose. And so I kind of made him watch the first episode earlier today. And so I remember hearing that quote by Pray Tell during that first episode. And now he's hooked. And yeah, he says he might watch my reviews. I hope he doesn't. If you do, love you, boo. Anyway, that's it. Hope y'all liked. I am sad to see it go. That is it. Until, I guess, next year. And it'll be back out then. And I'll be back, hopefully, doing my reviews. That's all I got for y'all. Thank y'all for coming. Thank y'all for being here for me this whole season of Pose. That's all we got for season 2. We are out of this piece. Thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely. I'm out.